Hello and welcome. Today I decided to make a kind of a different video. Today's video is going to be about the lore of my series, and well, not only one series. I plan on doing many things with it, but currently a series that has 2 episodes and one in production. The third one is going to be very long compared to the other ones. But anyways, the goal of this video is to, I guess, introduce you to the world, teach you some stuff about it, mostly answer the questions that I asked. That I asked for. And yeah, there will be some visual aid in this video. So yeah, it's not going to be just a black screen and me just talking. Although it probably would have been a better option because I can't really edit that well and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. But starting off with Kristev's question, or rather a demand. That's how it fucking sounds. He said he wants a full breakdown between the characters, especially what their relations are, especially Mike, Pyro, and Cooper. I'm gonna start with the easier part, that being the relations between characters. Well, because they are clones, and I have a interesting. I think I would have an interesting relation between myself if the second myself was a clone and not just me. It wouldn't really change that way. I think the best way to describe it is they're friends, but professionals. They will do, like, there's Pyro on top, and then there's just a whole command structure that I'm gonna explain in a bit. And basically, they will do what Pyro orders them. They will do what their commanding officer will order them, but they are very casual about it. When it comes to, like, normal relations, I don't really know how to explain it because, well, they are just neutral towards each other. They don't hate each other. They don't like love each other or some shit. They are just normal people. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. If you were looking more for like a command structure, then I will now. If you look at the video, there is a graph, I could say, explaining how it goes. So first, the section overlord. On the top is Pyro, who is the CEO of the company and the military. You could say the general of the army, if we would compare it to the U.S. Armed Forces. Under him is Mike. So if Pyro got eliminated for some reason, Mike would take over. And that's basically the chain of command. It goes Pyro, then Mike. Then under section overlord, which is responsible for the entire company worldwide, there's regional command. In regional command, we have Nathan, the fleet com, and Cooper, who is the commanding officer of Spartan Rangers. They are on the same level, but you would expect someone that is responsible for the entire fleet to be in section overlord, but he gets orders directly from Pyro or from Mike, depends on who is doing the commanding that day. And it's basically, it really depends on who is available to take command in case like communications with section overlord gets cut. Then it's just the one that is the one that is available takes over, which is usually Nathan, considering he is just sitting on a ship and commanding the fleet. And Cooper is usually on some kind of mission with his Spartan Rangers. So below them there is Kyle, Tower, and Chris, Tower, and Kyle. So it goes left to right. They are local command. So if there is no commanding officer above them, they take control of the local forces. Yeah, that's basically it. Chris is in charge of Misfits. It's a special operations group. Tower is responsible for the first. God damn it. Then he's responsible for the Armored Fist, the first main assault group. And Kyle. For Kyle, I haven't yet thought of something. I wanted to put him in Africa, like he has a special place in Africa, but then I realized I would have to put him at least in regional command, and he doesn't fit there. So he's probably going to be the commanding officer of another mag or a special operations team. I'm not sure. And below, at the bottom, is Zach, squad level command. He is wanted to be at the bottom, basically. He wanted to be in the fight always with his team, with his squad. He basically is the lowest at the bottom of the command structure. He doesn't want to be involved with the big stuff because, well, he thinks he's not really good for a job, which I tend to agree with. Anyways, that's the command structure. This is it. I guess for this, for this section, I could say. The next question is from Sader at Volve Enjoyer. I'm gonna say it in normal English. Do you have Ukrainians in law? And tell me more about this company of mercenaries. Where your characters at? So I'm assuming that I know what he's talking about. So, with Ukraine, it's kind of a interesting thing because previously I had like a major Ukrainian character, but now it really depends if I want to feature Ukraine in a major way or not. If I will include Ukraine in a major role, then this character will come back. If not, then he will just be mentioned in the background. And Ukraine, in this setting, did actually play a big role because the setting is set in the future of this world, basically. From even before, even in 2020 or 2021, before the invasion of Ukraine that is happening currently, I had plans that the Ukrainian situation goes hot, and that's basically where the PMC started. That's where it started, but due to the events that happened, I changed it a little bit. So basically, the Ukraine wins the current war in my version of reality. After that, Russia gets into multiple civil wars. The Balkanization happens, and what happens after? There are some countries and shit, and the so-called rightful successor of Russia has like a proxy militaries, like Wagner, but it's named differently. If I remember, it's in Arma. It's called Akula. And basically, because of that, we have the main bad guys that is a Russian PMC, after the Balkanization. And because I don't really know much about how the ethnic and others and like you know I don't know much about what's inside Russia. I will not say what remnants of what like countries became, uh, what countries have been made after the Balkanization of Russia, because I don't really have enough knowledge on the region to say that yeah, this area would become this, that area would become that, and so on and so on. It's basically this happened. There is this main bad guy nation, and we are fighting it. That's basically it for Ukraine and Russia in my universe. And the mercenary company that I run is one of many companies that have been made by Pyro. There is a whole net of companies that basically help to start the PMC business, because, well, as you can guess, it's hard to start a PMC with nothing. So it started with as an influencer, then uh, some regional stores, gym, and then it ballooned into a transportation company. Here, like there's a building company there, and all that stuff. It just went expanded further and further, and because in that and because of the state of the world, at some point, Pyro went to Russia to fight as a mercenary, and then he met up with a group of different, like, he met people there. Basically, they created the PMC, and then there was like a big battle. All of his PMC all of his mercenary friends died, so he took up the company. And I'm still not sure if he found the cloning tech in Russia, or if he just stole it at a later date from the Americans. Because I know for a fact that the exoskeleton, he stole that from America, basically, after he got his PMC started and the clones already were created. Then he stole the specs and the working exoskeleton from the Americans. But I am not sure what about the cloning process. But that would probably be, I would say, yeah, it probably in Russia, since that would be, America is the high tech, making better soldiers, and Russia is throwing more meat in the grinder. So yeah, that would make more sense in my opinion. But in the story, as it will be kind of, I'm gonna say a spoiler, I guess, but it's not gonna be mentioned in the main story. It's gonna be mentioned in the birthday special that is related to the story. That the Americans also pursued the cloning process in the Cold War. That's the catalyst for what happens on Altis in the story, and there's all that stuff happening in the background with shadowy other PMCs, and the government's fighting and controlling all that stuff, and Pyro and his people in the middle of all this, and that's basically it. I can't really say much more because, well, I have like I may the main canon that is currently happening. I mean, not really the canon that is currently happening. And all the newest generation of Pyro, I should say, is I had like a year to prepare most of the stuff, and there was major reworks. Like, I knew that I would do something like this, but there were major reworks of everything, so it's still not set in stone. Like, I don't really know what the main antagonist should be. Oh, because in this story there's Badger who has ties to the Russians and CSAT, which my my work kind of happens in like some sort of the armor universe. It's kind of tied to the armor universe, somewhat, but not really. And yeah, that's basically the CSAT. So basically China and this stuff and Russia, and yeah, that and the Americans are there too for some reason. So yeah, it's hard to say much, but there's definitely something major going behind in the scenes, but I don't really know what the major stuff is yet. Anyways, that's it for this question. Next question is by Psionic Thunder, which is, I assume, is a joke question. Will Saudi Arabia, in parentheses Hyperborea, show up in the law? To answer this joke question as seriously as I can, I'm not sure because I have many ideas in the future, like something set in Israel and stuff, and something set in the different places. But it's most of the stuff is not really on the table right now. I'm mostly just doing either the Badger Files or some short movies to develop the characters and stuff. But besides that, to be honest, if there will be an idea that for a story that takes place in the Middle East, I might include Saudi Arabia in it because, well, it's a regional player, and it's probably kind of important there, I would assume, because it's pretty big and kind of in the middle. So yeah, that's it for this half serious, half joking question with a serious answer. Next one is by Mche, probably Lampe. No, he's a cool dude. He's Polish, so yeah. Does any of your characters actually have a family, wife and kids and whatever? Currently, I only have, well, my clone characters. One not clone character that is on the good side, and the enemy. None of the clone characters besides Pyro have any kind of significant other because, well, they are clones, and they are made to not really give a shit about that stuff. That stuff, they don't really want a girlfriend or a wife. Pyro, on the other hand, depending on how it happens, and what will happen, maybe even in the Arma phase of my universe, cinematic universe, will have at first a GF and later girlfriend and later a wife. And as I said, it depends on how my life goes because I decided that I won't use a voice actor for Pyro's wife, Veronica, or girlfriend, whatever. That isn't my own girlfriend because I don't want to change the voice actor. Because, well, that would be, in my opinion, that would be weird if I used someone else to play a character that is a wife of basically me while having a girlfriend in real life. That doesn't sit with me well. I am weird like that. So yeah. And if they will have kids, there's multiple versions of the story I have, multiple canons, and I can't say much, but I will say this: in one version they have kids, in another they don't. It's all in. It's still not decided yet because in some non-canonical stories they have kids in the main canon. I can't say much because, well, I don't want to spoil it like 10 years beforehand, and it just ruined for everyone because they watched my older video. So yeah, that's it for that question. Let's see, what's the next one? The next one is from the official aficionado of Pyrolore, Dove, and now I'm gonna butcher it because I wanted to say this for a very long time. Statos. I know that it's not correct, but I really fucking want to make him upset by mispronouncing Statos. Yes, horribly every time I say it, because he has, if I remember correctly, in his bio he has like the correct way to say it, and I'm going to completely ignore it to like make him upset, even though it probably won't. But it's very funny in my head, and I will you know, fucking do it all the time. So his questions are characters' favorite weapons and vehicles, backstories of each, and the color of their underwear. So I'm gonna tackle it in this order: the underwear, vehicles and weapons, and then backstories. So first, black for everyone. Next, favorite weapons and vehicles. So I'd say that currently the weapons they have on them is basically their favorite weapon. Maybe besides Nathan, because he doesn't really shoot guns, but and Alex, because he's a fighter pilot, and that's basically fucking, he takes whatever it's compact enough. So starting with Cooper, his favorite gun is the British made I think it's 85. I might be completely off, but basically that's it. Kyle has some kind of like it was some H&K, but I completely forgot. It just went out of my mind. It's the marksman version. It's a longer barrel and scope and shit. Chris, it's an M4. Zach, I don't actually remember what Zach has. He just flip-flop between guns. Mike, it's an AK-74. Nathan, he flip-flop between submachine guns. Like one time he has a Vector, the other has a different gun. It doesn't matter, P90, whatever. He's a officer in the Navy. He doesn't give a fuck. Pyro, well, this is in the videos he has an AK-12 from Arma 3, but in the canon he really, I don't really know what he would use. He doesn't really have a favorite weapon, I'd say. Probably he would just use what Poland has because he's a fucking nationalist. Even though he doesn't really spend that much time in Poland, but still, he mainly uses Polish-made weapons, like the barrel or grot. And towers uses the M60. All of the weapons that I mentioned have the attachments that I can't add in game, and because I can't mod, and that would also look weird in game and wouldn't really function well in game. So yeah, jumping to the vehicles, we're gonna start from Alex and work the way back. Like, I mean, we start with A and end at Z, technically. Well, not really at Z, at T rather. Anyways, sorry for Alex's horrible picture, but I really did not want to open Arma just to make a better resolution picture of his face that you can't see. Well, since Alex is a pilot, and I really like the USAF mod for Arma that adds the F-22 Raptor, and I really like the F-22 Raptor. It's fun. So his favorite vehicle is the F-22 Raptor. Cooper's favorite vehicle is an MRAP. As you can see, the name is OSHKOSHM-ATV. I'm not even going to try to read it because it's fucking impossible. And as you can see, this picture is actually from the Polish armed forces. You can see in the picture, if you look hard enough, and actually you just can't see the watermark in the right low corner of the image. Kyle's favorite vehicle, because he is a kind of a marksman, I'd say. His favorite vehicle is the MH6 or AH6 Little Bird, because well, he usually gets dropped off by one of these. If not, then he enjoys the joyride, so flying around and shooting stuff with the 2 miniguns. Chris's and Zach's favorite vehicle is a bike, like a motorbike, because they are, well, misfits, and their unit is mostly for like high speed operations, the hit and run tactics and stuff. They usually prefer faster vehicles like bikes, and they really like driving them. Mike's favorite vehicle, he actually has 2, but I chose only one, the ground vehicle. Mike's favorite vehicle, because he's logy, he loves the Hemet truck because it's big, it's transport stuff and so on, and he really likes the only C5 Galaxy my company has. That's his favorite plane, because it's big and it transports stuff. He's a very big logi nerd. He really likes logistics. It's kind of like I also like logistics. Nathan's favorite vehicle is not an aircraft carrier, because he personally doesn't like being in an aircraft carrier. He prefers to be on a destroyer or a different ship. His favorite class is the Arleigh Burke class destroyer, because it's fucking cool, and because it has a lot of via its vertical launch VLSs, vertical launch systems for ballistic missiles, cruise missiles. That would be the case. That would be the correct way. I don't actually know. I'd have to educate myself on it. Anyways, since he's the Navy guy, he really likes ship. So he likes the Arleigh Burke class because, well, the Russian stuff is not really good, or doesn't look as cool, or overall is Russian, and the company is not really on the best terms with the Russians that have enough resources to actually have a fleet. So yeah, and Pyro's favorite vehicle is actually the KTO Rosomak, the Polish-made IFV/APC. His favorite, though, from the types, is the base model, which doesn't have the turret. It's basically his car. He likes driving it, but because the mod that adds the Polish army to the game doesn't have the base model, he doesn't really have, I can't show him riding it because, well, there is no base model. And Tower's favorite, since he's the commander of the first mag, is the M1A2 Spev3 Abrams. He doesn't really like the new Abrams X because it's, well, it's kind of like the Armata tank, the Russian one. that doesn't have people in the turret, and he really likes just poke his upper body out of the tank and be on top of like be out of the turret and also shoot his gun at other people. But unfortunately, the Abrams X doesn't really allow it, so that's why he doesn't really like it. And that's it for the characters currently. I might add some other characters in the future, and then I will update the list. Now the backstories. This is going to be a difficult one because, well, they are all clones. I did have some kind of elaborate backstory, but that was dumb. Like, I think that humanity would caught up that there are many guys that sound the same and look the same in different militaries across the world. So yeah, I scrapped that. It's basically just certain clones got just training from different military units across the world implanted into their heads, like during cloning process. There are memories and then implanted other tactical stuff into their heads. But there is like clone tiers. So basically, Pyro is the original. He's not the clone, he's a living person. He's the original, well, Pyro. Below him is the first generation clones, which currently is only Pyro and Zack. Yes, not Pyro and Cooper. Pyro and Zack. Mike and Zack. Sorry, Jesus, Mike and Zack. They are the first generation clones. They are the first ones to be created. They don't have any kind of genetical modifications yet. But Zack does have mimetic alterations. He doesn't have all of the memories of Pyro. Mike does, even though in the birthday special he says he doesn't. That's just a joke because, well, it's a play on the Pyro is the original, Mike is the clone, and they don't really have everything the same. After that, there is Cooper, Chris, Kyle and Alex. They are the second generation clones. They already have the genetical and mimetic augmentations. They are a bit better than the original the Gen 1 clones, but they are not as good as Gen 3 and 4 clones. Generation 3 clones are Misfit Grunts, Hammer Grunts, and Towers. Misfits and Hammers are, well, the grunts of, the Misfit Squad, Cascader, and Mag 1 Mot. So yeah, and Tower is he's taller, he's stronger, he's kind of faster, but he's still on the same level as the rest of the clones. And then there's Gen 4 clones, which are the Spartan Rangers. They are the top of the normal clones that are accepted to exist in the wider PMC, because some people in the PMC, like the normal human contractors, do know about the clone stuff, but they sign a 100-year-long NDA. Basically, that's kind of what it is, that they cannot say anything about it. And some of them know that the Spartan Rangers exist, but that's more of a myth. And then there is the last generation, the Gen 5, which are the Royal Guardsmen. The best of the best they are. the highest, the strongest, smartest, and overall the best of all of the clones. They are higher than towers. I think if I remember correctly, they stand at around 7 feet tall. They have a lot of genetical augmentations. They wear armor similar to what Pyro wears, and yeah, whenever I commission someone, or will be able to commission someone, I will show you how they look, their entire thing. But currently, I'm poor and I can't commission an artist to draw it. So yeah, that sucks. But if you're an artist and you would like to help me out, which would be pretty interesting because and weird because, well, nobody would like to help me out with this, and nobody would watch a 40 minute video of me talking about lore to draw a free thing for me. Then if you are interested, then legitimately hit me up on Twitter, and I will describe the guy for you, and you could draw him, because I really want to show what the guys really are. And that's it for the canonical characters. There's also some non-canonical stuff that I'm gonna talk about when, well, I will release the non-canonical stuff. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. To be honest, I want people to ask questions, because I myself can't really talk unprompted about this, because I don't really know where to start with talking. But when you get me started on a topic, you end up with a 40-minute long video based on 5 questions. So yeah, ask more questions if you want. You can be more specific with your questions if you want. You can ask dumb questions, actually, in questions that have some kind of substance to them. And yeah, I think that's it for the video. As I said, if you have more questions, just ask in the comment section or on Twitter. And yeah, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. Bye.